right, guys, we are going to go over the questions that you did on the Google Slides the other day on volume. So if you want to get those out, we're going to go over them real quick just to talk about them. So I have the speed distance or the speed distance time triangle right here. Remember, when you're solving for it, you need to think about what you have and what you need to figure out, and cover up what you don't have, and that'll tell you what you're looking for and how to solve it. So in the first problem, it says an airplane flies 168 miles in 5.6 hours. What is the average speed in miles per hour? So we're looking for speed. So I don't have speed, so I have my distance, I have my time, and I have to divide the two. All right, so we have distance divided by time equals speed. Our distance is 168 miles. Our time is 5.6 hours. It would be 168 divided by 5.6. We have to move that decimal point once on the 5.6. Whatever we do on the outside of our division, we have to do on the inside. So I moved that on the 168, and then I just divided it out. I knew 56 times 2 wouldn't work, so over on the side over here, I did 56 times 3, and I got 168. So 56 times 3 was 168. I subtracted that, got 0, and then I knew 56 times 0 was 0. So we got 30 miles per hour. Remember, it's very important that you put labels on everything. Label, label, label. Alrighty, number 2. It said Cindy roller skates with a constant speed of 16 miles per hour. How long will it take her to travel a distance of 6 miles? Something that I always do, and you're going to see on every one of my problems, is I always do this right here. And what I do is I call this an inventory, and I always write down everything that it tells me in the problem so I know what I'm plugging into my equation. So I know that I have my distance, I have my speed, and I'm looking for my time. So I don't have time, I have distance, I have speed. I know that I have to do distance divided by the speed. Distance divided by speed equals time. So 6 divided by 16, we have 16, we have 6. I have to add a decimal point down here, and we bring it straight up, and that's where our decimal point's going to go in up here. I know that 16 times 3 is going to give me 48. So 60 minus 48 gave me 12. I dropped down my 0, got 120. 16, I didn't know what I could multiply 16 by to get close to 120, so I did some math on the side. I tried 5, I knew I could get closer, so then I just jumped up to 7, and I got 112, so I did that. I did 120 minus 112, I got 8, and then I said, oh wait, 16 times 5 was 80. So then we got 0.375. In science class, I'm going to have you guys round to the 10th place, which is that one place after the decimal point right here. And we know that that place, when we round, if our number behind it is 4 or below, we're going to keep it the same. If it's above 4, 5 or above, we're going to shove it up to the next number, okay? So this was a 7, which is going to make that 3 go to a 4. So our time was 0.4 hours. Number 3, an airplane flies with a constant speed of 720 miles per hour. How far can you travel in 2.4 hours? So it gave us our time, 2.4 hours. It gave us our speed, 720 miles per hour. We had to find our distance. So we know that we have to multiply time times speed. Time times speed equals distance. 2.4 times 720. I always put my bigger number on top. So we do our ones place first, and that gives us our top row. And then we have to do that placeholder 0. Don't forget about that 0. Then we do our tens place, multiply that out, and then we add everything up. When you're multiplying with a decimal, don't forget however many decimal points you have in your problem is how many decimal points you have in your answer. So I only have 1 decimal place up here in my problem. So in my answer, I have 1 decimal place. So there's 1 decimal place here. I have 1 decimal place down here. So your answer should be 1,728 miles. Number 4, a taxi travels 111 kilometers in 2.5 hours. What is the average speed in kilometers per hour? It gave us our distance, it gave us our time. We don't know the speed, so we're going to do distance divided by time. 111 divided by 2.5. Again, move that decimal point. Move that decimal point, add a 0. This one was pretty easy. I didn't have to do any math on the side because 25 is just like a quarter. We know that 4 quarters equals $1, and we know that $1 is how many cents? 100. So we know that 25 times 4 would just equal 100. So I knew that 25 went into 111. 4 times, we got 100, subtracted, got 1, or got 11, oh my goodness. Brought down my 0, got 110. 25 went into 110 4 times, we got 100, subtracted, and got 10. Brought down, we had to add a 0, brought down that 0. 25 went into 100 4 times. 25 times 4 was 100, subtracted, and got 0. So our speed on this one was 44.4 kilometers per hour. Number 5, Grace roller skates with a constant speed of 14 kilometers per hour. How far can she travel in 6.2 hours? It gave us our time, it gave us our speed. We need to know our distance. So if we cover up distance, we're going to do time times speed. 6.2 times 14. We do our ones. 6 times 4, or 4 times 2, 4 times 6. Then we add our 0. 1 times 2, 1 times 6. Add everything up. Again, 1 decimal place in our problem, 1 decimal place in our answer. Your answer should be 86.8 kilometers. Number 6, this one was a little longer. I had to do a lot of work on the side, which is perfectly fine. Mike rides his motorcycle 540 kilometers in 5.2 hours. What is the average speed in kilometers per hour? So it gives us a distance, it gives us a time. We have to find the speed. So we have to do distance divided by time. 540 divided by 5.2. Again, move your decimal point, move your decimal point. Whenever I move the decimal point, I always just bring it straight up. That's just me, so I don't forget where it goes. I knew that if I took 52 and I multiplied it by 10, I would get 520. Anything times 10, you just add a 0 to the end. So I multiplied it by 10, and I got 520. I subtracted, and I got 20. And then you had to bring down your 0, and then you had to see how many times does 52 go into 200. Well, I did 3, because I knew 2 times was not going to work. So I did 3, and then I got 156, and you subtracted, and you got 4, D4. And then I said, well, how many times can 52 go into 44? It can't. So I had to add a 0 and bring it down. How many times can 52 go into 444? That's where all my work came into. So I think I tried, I don't know what I tried first. I think I tried 9. 9 was too high, so then I bumped down to 8. And 8 worked. So I did 8. And then I got 24. Said 52 can't go into 24, so then I had to keep going. So I added another 0, and I got 240. And then I did some more work. So I tried 4, and I said, I think I can get closer. So then I tried 5, and 5 worked. Or 5 was too high, and I said, okay, got to stick with 4. So we did 208, and then we got 32. And then we oh my goodness, I'm getting all discombobulated. We got 32, we had to add another 0, and I said, how many times can 52 go into 320? I knew it wasn't 4, I knew it wasn't 5, so we tried 6, we got 312, and I still had some more, so I stopped. When you get a problem like this where you think it's going to keep going, I want you guys to try it, at least go out 3 times and stop. So at least divide it out till it's 3 places after the decimal point, and then you can stop. All right? But like I said, we're going to round to 1 place after the decimal point. So this is a 4, which is going to make our 8. Stay in 8. So your speed is going to be 103.8 kilometers per hour. So that one took a little bit of time, but it's pretty easy. Number 7, and then you get number 7, which is easier problem. Number 7 read, an airplane flies with a constant speed of 680 kilometers per hour. How long did it take to travel a distance of 544 kilometers? So it gave us a speed, it gave us a distance, we had to find the time. So cover that up with your distance divided by speed equals time. Distance, 544 kilometers. Ooh, I didn't label. Speed was 680 kilometers per hour, and then divide it out. 544 divided by 680. We know that 680 can't go into 544. We had to put a decimal point, bring it up, and add a 0. I tried 5. 5 was too low, so I just hopped up a few and went to 8. Bada bing, bada boom, 8 worked out perfectly, because I knew 10 was going to be too high, because 10 was going to be 680, and I was like, too high, no, try again. I was like, I'm not going to go straight down to 9, so I'm just going to skip 1, we'll do 8. Bada bing, bada boom, now we're cooking. 8 was spot on, so our time is going to be 0.8 hours. Number 8, Mike rides a horse. Mike rides his horse 42.9 kilometers in 4.1 hours. What is his average speed in kilometers per hour? So again, cover up speed. We're going to do distance divided by time. Distance divided by time. This time we have to move both decimal points. Again, move it straight up. 41 can go into 49 once, subtract and get 8. Super easy. 41 times 2 is going to give us the 82 because we had 1 left over. Bring down our 2. 42 times 41 gives us 82. Subtract and get 0. Our speed was 12 kilometers per hour. Number 9, Julia rides her bike with a constant speed of 12 kilometers per hour. How far can she travel in 1.1 hours? So it gave us a speed of 12 kilometers per hour. It gave us a time of 1.1 hours. It didn't give us our distance. So we have to multiply. So 12, our speed, times our time. Set it up. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Add your placeholder 0. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. Add up those numbers. 2 plus 0 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 1 and 1. 1 and nothing is 1. 1 decimal place in our problem. 1 decimal place in our answer. Your answer should be 13.2 kilometers. Now, this problem on the Google slide didn't give you the equation, and it didn't give you the numbers. And you might be thinking, Ms. Cupp, I get confused on how you come up with that. Well, I'm going to walk you through the next one on how to come up with that. So the next problem says, Abigail roller skates with a constant speed of 13 kilometers per hour. How long will she take to travel a distance of 9.1 kilometers? There's a few key words in there that are going to help you. But first, what we're going to do, and this is something that has always helped me, is I make that inventory, okay? I know that I'm always going to be using distance, time, and speed because that's what we're solving for in these equations, okay? You know that you're solving for distance, time, and speed because I told you that. So I'm going to write distance, time, and speed because I know I have to find those somehow, okay? Abigail roller skates with a constant speed of 13 kilometers per hour. It just told us right there her speed. 13 kilometers per hour. How long will it take her to travel a distance of 9.1 kilometers? It just told us our distance, 9.1 kilometers. What do we have to solve for? We have no idea what time. You know how else we know we have to solve for time? Because it says, how long will she travel? Or how long will she take to travel? How long? That's going to tell me I need to figure out a time here. Okay? So, what's our equation we're using? Distance divided by speed equals time. That's a good way to make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, make this inventory if it helps you when you're reading the problem. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to do distance, 9.1, divided by speed, 13. Let's see how much time it takes. So I don't know my 13s off the top of my head. I knew 13 times 5 was 65. We'll try 6. I can get closer than that. 7. Nail on the head. Bada bing, bada boom. It brought us to 91 because we have to bring that decimal point straight up. So our time is going to be 0.7 hours. Okay? Check over your answers, see how you did. If you have any questions on any of your problems, please email me and let me know. Practice some more. Work on this a little bit more. We'll work on it a little bit more, but we're going to move on a little bit to motion graphs, and this will carry on into that. But look over your problems, see if there's anything you struggled with, and let me know. All right? Have a good day, guys.